With a TV landscape saturated with scripted series and true crime documentary, Only Murders in the Building is a very welcome change of tune. There's just something about this humorous whodunit that keeps us coming back for more, which is why it's great news to hear Only Murders in the Building has been renewed for season 3. Of course, our favorite podcast trio will be back. And is that Meryl Streep? It sure is. What is she doing in Only Murders in the Building?
Launched her presidential campaign, I think.
And does she have anything to do with the murder of Ben? This is everything you should know about Only Murders in the Building Season 3. The final episode of Season 2 last August left us with a massive cliffhanger. And while news on the upcoming season has naturally been sparse, there are definitely some clues to be gathered that hint at what's to come. But let us refresh our memory. What even happened at the end of Only Murders in the Building Season 2? For one, it was finally revealed who killed Jane Howdyshell's Bunny Folger.
Her life were special to her, her friends are tried and true, and, you know, the rest of the people in the building.
But only after a season that was quite literally packed with red herrings, fun podcasting rivalry, and Arconia lore. And all it took for the truth to come out was an intricate setup that included a killer reveal party and the staged death of Steve Martin's.
Anything you hope and dream that people will love it, it will be the most popular and talked about.
Charles. This is what finally forced our trio of Tina Fey's, Cinda Canning's, Adina Burson's Poppy, aka Becky Butler, to confess to the murder. As it turned out, killing Bunny was Poppy's first step of staging an art heist plot that would be worthy of her boss's attention. Of course, she had the help of her romantic partner, Michael Rappaport's detective Crep. With the arc of our beloved main characters wrapped up, we learned that Charles's career has been successfully rebooted thanks to the major success of the In-Show podcast. And then the series makes a time jump. It's a year later, and Harry Putnam's Oliver has been directing a Broadway play starring none other than Charles and Ben Glenroy, portrayed by Paul Rudd. But as the opening night begins, Ben collapses right in the middle of his monologue, which is suspicious as is. But it happened right after Ben and Charles have a rather menacing backstage conversation. Be smart, stay away from here. Charles's cryptic last words to Ben echo when Ben falls dead to the stage boards. And even more ominous, I know what you did. What did he do? And will we ever find out? Does this mean that Charles is once again the prime suspect? Oh man. Well, it should be safe to assume that Ben's death is the catalyst to season 3 of Only Murders in the Building. After all, it has already been confirmed that Rudd will be joining the upcoming season as Ben.
Make you appear as you normally are, just, you know,
getting ready
up
for the day or
yeah, and here's
again. So it's very likely that not only will we be blessed with more scenes of Paul Rudd, we'll probably also get a bit more insight into who Ben actually is and what happened leading up to his unfortunate death. But Rudd won't be the only superstar joining us in season 3 of Only Murders in the Building. Selena Gomez, who plays Mabel in the series, shared a TikTok from set showing off their brand new cast member, none other than Meryl Streep. The TikTok also featured other co-stars, Martin Short, Andrea Martin, Paul Rudd, and the rare beauty herself, of course. But what role Streep will take on is as of yet unclear. Grey's Anatomy star Jesse Williams.
It's actually quite admirable. I think about it now as a parent. My mom would cut like 4 cardboard
is rounding out this amazing cast. His involvement was announced back in October 2022. Williams will be portraying a documentarian who has a particular interest in the same case that Mabel, Charles, and Oliver are looking into, which is probably going to be Ben's untimely demise. The rest of the cast has not been confirmed yet, but it can be assumed that all of the other regulars will be back as well. So, what will season 3 of Only Murders in the Building be about? I have no idea. Aside from the Ben Glenroy cliffhanger.
And I was excited at the idea of like getting to work with him. And then, you know, I saw.
And the knowledge that season 3 is currently being shot, really nothing is known yet about the upcoming season. But if we're to believe series co-creator John Hoffman.
And by the injuries, it appeared that my friend had killed someone and then killed himself.
Season 3 promises to make a deep dive into a very particular New York. And while the executive producer was very careful about not giving anything away, he did confirm that Only Murders in the Building will expand the world of the series into the theater, and they plan on doing that through the introduction of several interesting new faces. Season 3 will also represent a kind of clean slate, with the clock turned forward for about a year. There's a certain fresh start, which only makes sense now we're moving on to another murder, one that didn't happen in the building, as far as we know, at least. Does this mean that Only Murders in the Building will be moving away from its titular premise, as in to have only murders in the specific building that they're in? Could it be that we're actually leaving the building behind entirely? I mean, we did leave the building and apparently witnessed a murder in a theater, but I don't see the show completely disconnecting from the apartment complex on the Upper West Side. And besides, when Variety asked Hoffman about the change of scenery, the co-creator of the series just said that they are a show that is known for its twists, but he really couldn't give anything else away, which is for the best as well. It would be a real shame if the plot of season 3 of Only Murders in the Building was spoiled, don't you think? In other words, things are probably not exactly what they seem. I'm very curious how they'll have a murder that didn't take place in the apartment building connected to the building anyway. Moreover, it seems like the team has a lot more ideas to put into practice yet. Huffman said that the idea that originally inspired Only Murders in the Building just kept on giving and giving, and that hasn't changed now. The series is full and well on its way. Many people have already started to wonder how many murders could possibly take place in just one building. But have those people seen the documentary about the Cecil Hotel? One thing is for sure, the showrunners have fallen in love with this witty show just as madly as they were expecting. So, if we're lucky, we'll have many more seasons of Only Murders in the Building to come. But in the meantime, where can you watch the previous 2 seasons of the series? Good news, they are still available on Hulu. Or should I say, they're only available on Hulu. It's unclear when the 3rd season of the series will drop exactly, even though we know that the cast is on set and they're working hard to give us the 3rd season of the show. No official release date has been offered as of yet, but it has been confirmed by Disney that season 3 of Only Murders in the Building will arrive somewhere this year. Hopefully, this means that the series will keep to the habits of the previous season and return for season 3 by the end of the summer.
This is One Killer Question,
where we ask the one question you need answered after every...
But in the meantime, maybe we can already start theorizing about what could have happened to Paul Rudd's Ben. So far, Only Murders in the Building has been renewed, and this was everything you should know about the upcoming season. And yes, Meryl Streep has officially joined the cast of the series, and Selena herself says, could this honestly get any better?